Just before I start, if you can hear some banging and knocking in the background, it's just the wife making some gravy.
I heard that, you. That'll teach you.
I'm John, and this is Fun with Filmora.
Lights, camera, action!
Let's have some fun. By the way, if you stick around till the end, I'll tell you about a new free £50 monthly giveaway I'll be running soon. I've been asked by one of my subscribers, Hi-O Woo, and I do hope I pronounced that correctly, but it stands for Hike Your Own Hike With Us. What a great name. And they've asked me if I could do a tutorial on a video opener based on an American TV series that ran from 2007 to 2019 called The Big Bang Theory. Now, I'd never seen it, but I thought I'll check out the intro on YouTube. Anyway, turns out it's a great little intro, so I'll show you it now. I've checked YouTube, there's no copyright issues with this, so this is what the actual intro looks like.
Our whole universe was in a hot, dense state that nearly 14 billion years ago expansion started. Wait, the earth began to cool, the autotrophs began to drool, Neanderthals developed tools, we built a wall. We built the pyramids, math, science, history, unraveling the mystery that all started with a Big Bang.
So after watching that little intro, I thought, yeah, that would be a great little tutorial to do. Thought about 20 seconds long, shouldn't take too long to do. And to be fair, creating the video didn't take that long. What I didn't realise is that 10 seconds of those images flashing by, I thought there'd be like 20, 30 images maximum. There was actually 109 images in there. And me being me, I wanted to try and replicate the images that they had put into the intro. So I wanted to get very, very similar ones. Obviously copyright free, because it'll be going onto YouTube. I do have accounts where I have copyright free images, and I did source other copyright free images from the internet, all 109 of them, and they are very similar. I actually went through the video frame by frame and found an image. It took me 3 days to find 109 images similar, but I've done it, and here is my effort.
Our whole universe was in a hot, dense state that nearly 14 billion years ago expansion started. Wait, the earth began to cool, the autotrophs began to drool, Neanderthals developed tools, we built a wall. We built the pyramids, math, science, history, unraveling the mystery that all started with a Big Bang.
So I hope you like this tutorial, and if you do, please don't forget to give me a like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell. Right, let's jump into Filmora. I wanted to create the middle bit of the intro where all the images are flying by. I wanted to create that first. So as you can see here, I've imported my 109 images. I'll keep going on about that. So I've imported my 109 images. I'm going to select them all simply by dragging and cross them all. I'm going to drag them onto my timeline. And as you can see, that imports all of the 109 images in one go, which is great. Save dragging them one at a time. So I'm just going to make that the full size. Also, what I want to do is I want to make the first image just a little bit longer. So I need to highlight all of them and just move them out the way a little bit. And then the first image I want to make a little bit bigger because there's going to be a transition on that. So I'll just drag that across there like that. No problem. And then I want to delete this space. So click in the space, press delete on your keyboard, and as long as you have ripple delete on, they'll join up. If you don't have ripple delete, which is this little symbol here, all you need to do then is drag them all across. I also noticed on the video that somewhere inside the video, when we go to E equals MC squared, if I can find that somewhere, which is there, every image before that was black and white on the original intro. Mine aren't, unfortunately, as you can see as I scroll through. Well, some of them are, but some of them aren't. They're all different colours. So what I needed to do was to make all those images black and white. Now, I didn't want to do them one at a time. So there's a good way around it. First thing I needed to do was create a point by the E equals MC squared, so that I knew every image before that would be black and white. And The way of doing that is if you click on the timeline and click on that little icon there, it adds a marker. So you can see a blue marker now. So I know every image before that has to be black and white. How can I make all of those images black and white in one go? Very easy. Go to Media, Adjustment Layer, and drag a new adjustment layer down on the track above. I'll just make that a bit smaller. We then drag that across to the same length or up to where the marker is, and now any effects we do within this adjustment layer will apply to every one of these images. Great time saver. So what I want to do is I want to create a black and white effect on all of these images. Let me just go to an image that is color. Yep, can't find any out. There we go. I'll stay on that one. Then if you go to effects and type in black and white, you'll notice there's quite a few effects come up. I'll just make those larger so you can see them. Now I'm going to use the first one, Willow, which is a free one. So you just drag that down onto the adjustment layer. And there you go. Every image underneath there is now black and white. How easy and how great is that? And what a time saver. I then wanted to export that as a video, and you see why I've done that when I re-import it. So let's just go to export, create a video, whatever name you want to call it, and export the video. Let that export. Okay, now that's exported, I'm going to delete what I've just done. I'm going to select all the images I've imported, if I can find them. There they are. And I'll change that view to thumbnail view. I'll actually change it to small thumbnail view, seeing as there's 109 images. I'm going to select them all and don't require them anymore for this next part, and just delete them. So select them all, press delete on your keyboard. Yes, you want to delete them all. Now I'm going to import that video I've just created. Click on import. There it is there. Import that and drag it onto the timeline. Now the reason why I've done that, the images, as you know, go from slow and speed up to quite quickly. Now if I was to try and do that on every individual image, it would have took an age. It really would. I would have had to shrink them down or change the duration. So a quicker way of doing it now is, now that we've got one full video, let's just play that. Okay, that's just going to the next images, but we want it to speed up. Let's use speed ramping. So click on your clip, go up to speed and speed ramping, and we're going to do a custom one. So click on that. So the very end is going to be quite fast, so we drag that up right up to 10 times, and again it speeds up quicker at the end than what it does in the middle. It goes a little bit slower at first, then speeds up near the end. So let's just try a few little settings like this. Just drag them up like that, see how that goes. And I can actually tell that it's actually 13 seconds long, you can see here, and I know the original was about 10, which isn't too far off, so I'll just drag that up a bit more. Yeah, we've got 12 seconds. Let's go back to the very start and see what that looks like. How cool is that? And that's how you create the speed up ramp effect. Okay, so we noticed, or I noticed, sorry, that this isn't filling the screen at the moment. So if you click on it, and we can make that video a little bit bigger just by increasing the scale to fill the screen. There we go. Let's see what that looks like. My eyes are going funny watching this. No, that works great, and you can see it go from black and white to colour. Let's just have another quick look at that. You can see all the black and white images first starting off a bit slower, speeding up, still black and white until it gets to MC equals MC squared. And once that hits, they all change to colour at the end of the video. So that's how I did that part. I've now imported all the bits I need. Let me show you what I've got. I've got a little burst, which is the start of the intro. I've then got the parade of planets, which is the next bit. I've got the group of friends, which have to replicate the cast members. Obviously you can't use them. And then at the very end, sorry, after that, I then have the speeded up footage of the slides. And I've also got the original footage, because I'm going to use the audio from that underneath. Okay, so we'll start by grabbing the piece of footage that we need for the start. Now, this is the clip I discovered or found, and what I'm going to use, I'm going to pause it there, pull it back a bit, because I don't need all the rest of it beforehand. So if I click on that icon there, it puts an in point. I'll play the video and I'll pause it where I want it to stop, which is about there. Actually, I'll just make it a little bit longer, about there, and then I'll put an out point. Now, what that does is I can drag this video onto the timeline, but it'll only drag down that bit of footage instead of all of the video, which is great. So drag that onto there, and I will keep the project settings. I'll make that a little bit bigger so we can see what's going on. So if I play that now, the footage in the timeline is only that little bit there, which is great. So the next one we need is a planet video, and again I don't need all of that, so I'll pause that round about when it starts getting a bit level. Say there. I'll put an in point. I'll play it. And I will stop it when that asteroid flies in there. So do that. Put an out point, and again drag that down, but I want to drag that underneath, so I need to move that one up first, and I want to overlap them slightly because I want one to fade out and one to fade in. Before I do the fades, I want to increase the speed on these because they're a bit slow at the moment. So if I right click and do show speed control, I can then drag that down to something that I want. Let me just try it round about. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks a bit better. And again, I'll drag the bottom clip of the planets underneath, and I'll do speed control on that as well. Show speed control. I'll drag that down to, no, I want to make that faster actually. Yeah, sorry. So that should be 121. About there. I've made both of them a little bit faster. So let me just try that again. Zooms in. Okay, that will fade out in a minute, and then the planets will come in and play. So that looks fine. Let's do the fade out effect on the top one. So we click on the clip, we go to animation tab. If it's not already highlighted, just click on animation tab, and we want that to fade out. So I'll drag and drop that roughly where the other clip starts to come in, and I'll fade that out to the end. Take it back to the beginning, see what that looks like. Yeah, that works well. I don't think this bottom planet one needs to be quite that long actually, so I'll make that a bit shorter. Let's play that again. Quick play, see what that looks like. Comes in, fades through. Yeah, that looks better. Happy with that one. Now where that starts fading out and the planets come in, I want to add like a light effect between these two as one fades out, as it looks on the original footage as well. So if I go to effects and type in twinkle star, before you do, make sure you're on the recommended tab. I wasn't then, but otherwise you may not find it. So type in twinkle star. I'll give a twinkle star effect. I'll drag that down. I'll actually drag it above, and then I'll make it go across both clips. So I'll want that to fade in and out as well. So let me just check that. Yeah, that works well. But I'd like it to fade in and out like I said, so I'll make that a little bit longer. Now, because this is an effect, you don't have an animation tab to drag down, fade in or out. So the way we do that is with keyframes. So we go to the start of the animation. We click on keyframe on the opacity, and we take that right down to 0. Move across to about the center of the effect. Do another keyframe and change that to 100%. Go to the end of that effect, again another keyframe, and take opacity down to 0. So that'll change from 0 to 100 back down to north, so it'll fade in and out. Let me just check that. That worked. Right, the next bit of footage we need to add is the multiple slides that I created. So back to our media. It's that one there. I'll just check. Yes, that's the one. So I'll drag that down onto the timeline, put it next to the planets one we've just created, and we want a transition between them two, just a small transition, and the name of the transition was Simple Luxury Promo. So if we go to transitions and type in, make sure you're on the recommended tab again, Simple Luxury Promo. It should be the first one there. So if we drag that down between the two clips as a transition, it doesn't need to be anywhere near that length. We'll just drag that down till it's about duration maybe 21. We'll see how that goes. Let's play that, see what it looks like. Yeah, it's quite a nice transition. And again, in the original intro, it had like a burst of light between the two, so that works well. Right, let's move along a bit. After the multiple slides, they then had the cast showing on screen. I haven't got the cast, so I found a piece of footage with some people enjoying the drink, and where the cheers with the glasses is the piece of footage that I wanted to use, which is about there. So again, what we can do is, just where they're about to say cheers, I want to put an in point there. I'll play the footage. I don't need much of this, to be honest, so that should be more than enough. I'll put an out marker there, and then I'll drag just this piece of footage down onto the timeline. Okay, that's cool. Again, that doesn't really need to be that long, so I'll shrink it down to maybe just 2 seconds duration. Give that a go, see how that works. Let's just play that. Yeah, that'll work fine. Now after that, there was like a orangey red background with the Big Bang Theory logo on. I went to stock media and I found this background. I'll drag it onto the timeline for you. And this was the nearest I could find. I can't actually remember what the name was, I'm sorry to say. But I just put in, I think I put in red orange background, and this came up. And again, this doesn't need to be too long. It needs to be approximately, let's say, about there. So let's just play that. So that'll change to that. Now you can see it doesn't fit the screen or fill the screen. So right click and do crop to fit. That'll do that. And then at the end, at the very end, was just a black screen. So if we go to stock media, film stock, make sure you're on the solid color tab and just drag the solid black to the very end. And I'll extend that. Doesn't matter how long that is because that's the end anyway. Now between the group shot and the red background, there was like a smoke effect. So I'll do that as a transition. So if you go to transitions, make sure you're on recommended tab. Type in smoke. And I'm going to use this bursting smoke effect. I drag that in between the two clips. It's obviously way too long, so we just need to drag that down until it's small size, because it just needs to be a quick smoke effect. That's fine, maybe a little bit longer. That was a little bit too quick. Don't worry that we can see the other clip behind at the moment, because we're going to put a logo there. So let me just go back to where they both join. And above that, we need to add our logo now. Or whatever text you want. Obviously, in the original clip, it was the Big Bang Theory logo. I'm just going to use mine if that's okay. I just drag that down onto the footage. That needs to be about the same length as the clip with the red background. It's obviously way too big, so I need to shrink that down to about there. And I want that to zoom in pretty fast. So the way we do that is we click on it, go to animation, and choose the zoom in. Double click. That applies it to that, or you can just drag and drop it onto it. Let's see how fast that is. Okay, I want that to be a bit quicker. So you can see there's 2 points here. That's the zoom in and that's the end zoom in. So I need to drag that nearer to there, and then it should zoom in quicker. Let's try that. Yeah, that looks better. Now also at the end is just a little bit of text saying thank you for watching. So if we go to titles, I'll drag down the default title. I'll make that the same length as the rest of the black clip. Okay, and I'll change that text to say thank you for watching. I'll do it all in capitals. Now you can see it's not in the center, so we just click on this icon here to center all the text. Now there's two ways of shrinking this as well. You can just click and choose a font size there, but you know, you might want it somewhere in between 68 and 72. You can just type it in, but what I find it easy to do, literally just click and drag the handles. And then once you've got to the size you want, click and drag the text. You'll notice when you get to the center from left to right, a line will come down the middle. Now you want to center from top to bottom, so drag it up and down until you see that cross. You now know that text is central. Let's just put that back at the start, and we now need to add the audio. I'm going to use the original audio like I said, so I need to drag down in my project media the original Big Bang Theory theme, which I believe is this one. That's the one. So if I drag that down onto a new track, and you can see it's more or less the same length, which has worked out well. I'm going to right click and detach the audio. That'll leave just all the video on the top, which you don't need, so I can delete that by pressing delete. Well, clicking on it first and then pressing delete on my key. And now we have the audio at the bottom. Now you can see at the moment, it probably might be a little bit too short. Let's play the whole thing. I'll just make this slightly bigger so we can see what's going on. Let's play it, see how it goes.
Our whole universe was in a hot, dense state that nearly 14 billion years ago expansion started. Wait, the earth began to cool, the autotrophs began to drool, Neanderthals developed tools, we built a wall. We built the pyramids, math, science, history, unraveling the mystery that all started with a Big Bang.
You can see there just at the end where it said it all started with the Big Bang. I'd like that to actually finish. When it says it all started with the Big Bang, I'd like that to be on the logo there. So it's just slightly too short. Now there's a way around that. I can just slow the audio track down slightly. So if I right click on the audio track and choose speed control, I can then extend that slightly. Let's see how that goes near the end. Again, still a little bit too fast. Drag it a little bit further. We'll get there. That wasn't too bad. Let's just try that again. That worked well. So when I said Big Bang, the smoke came in and the logo came in. It hasn't really changed the audio that much. So let's just hear it from the start. It's a great intro. It'll work great for a slideshow where you're giving people an idea of what's coming up. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. It's worked out well. I can't get that song out of my head. I'm singing it all day and all night. It's getting on my wife's nerves. It's getting on my nerves. No, it's not. I'm enjoying it. It's a great intro. Like I said, great for the slideshow. You could give people an idea of what's coming up, and it'll pique their interest. And if you've got a slideshow with an intro like that, I'm sure it's going to get some views. So I really hope you enjoyed the tutorial. There's 109 images. I've mentioned that. I'm sure I've mentioned it somewhere in the video, but thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you for putting me onto this and asking me can I do a tutorial on this. So let me tell you about my new free monthly £50 giveaway. I'll be starting it in June, and all you have to do is watch my 4 videos that I post every month, and somewhere within those videos I will be announcing a number, one single number. So at the end of the month you'll end up with 4 numbers, and this will be a 4-digit PIN number. There'll be a link in the description where you can enter that 4-digit PIN number to enter the giveaway, free of charge and no commitment. It's just a small thank you from me for watching my videos. As always, thanks for watching. Now go have some fun.